What is up guys, I do hope you're well. My name is Mark and today we're covering some more r/am I the butthole. If you're new here, please consider hitting that like, that subscribe and maybe just that notification bell too, if you enjoy the content of course. And a huge thank you to the members of our channel. As always, from the bottom of my heart, you are truly appreciated. YouTube's being really weird and someone joined yesterday but it just keeps on coming up, channel failed to load. So if that is you, let me know in the comments below or PM me on Discord because I'd just love to say thank you to you. And with that being said, let's get on with today's stories. Our first story comes from a throwaway account. Am I the arsehole for telling someone she's the common denominator in her failed friendships? I've been with my partner for a year now and I've met most of his friends. He's very close to his friend group from high school, which I think is very sweet. His best friend is getting married next year, and my boyfriend is one of his groomsmen, so we've been spending more time with his friend group lately. I'm admittedly not super keen on one of his friends, S, but I've always chalked it up to personality differences. She's quite loud and dominates conversations a lot, but it's not like I don't like her, I just find her a bit much. We're in a Zoom with boyfriend's friends, shooting shit, and the wedding came up. At one point we were talking about outfits etc, and S said how much she hates shopping and was dreading going shopping. She made a weird comment about how she's not girly and one of the guys, which I found immature. She's a grown woman after all, but I didn't say anything. S asked if I knew what I was wearing and I said no, but I planned to go shopping with a friend of mine who also had an event coming up. I was going to ask S if she'd like to come with us, but she interrupted saying, "Oh, that's so cute. I just don't like stuff like that. I don't hang out with other girls, I just prefer being with the guys." Which I found really patronising, to be honest. It was clear I was annoyed and the conversation kind of took a turn. I said, "So you've never had a friendship with another woman before?" And she said, "No, I have. I just find a lot of girls petty and catty, don't you?" I said, "No, I don't. I'm friends with lots of women. We compliment each other, go shopping together, and occasionally share pastries sometimes." She said, "Oh, I could never. Girls always talk behind my back." I said, "You know, if every single relationship you've ever had with another woman has gone sour, there's a common denominator there, and it's not the fact they're other women. It's probably you." A couple of others laughed and tried to move on to a different topic of conversation, but it was clear S was angry. She logged off early and later texted my boyfriend and said I was way out of line. He replied and told her he didn't think so, and if she was one of the guys, she should be used to a bit of gentle ribbing every now and then. I feel a bit bad because although I felt hurt by her comments, she seemed quite insecure to me. Plus it's not really my friendship group, so I may have been a bit overbearing. Am I the arsehole? Booty Cheek says, "Not the arsehole. She seems like one of the I'm not like other girls, which is so not a nice personality trait. She was way out of line for making comments about your friendships, but when you said something about her, she's acting so hurt by them. That is not okay. She was saying it in front of everyone, I believe all or mostly guys in the friend group, how she likes to hang out with boys more than girls, making her seem, in my opinion, like she's better than you because of it. Maybe she's jealous of you if she was the only girl in the friend group and now you are as well. So she wants them to think that she is better than you. I don't know, I just see it as like she is shaming you, which is not okay. And what you said isn't hurtful, it is the truth." I kind of saw it that way as well when people say, "Yeah, I'm one of the guys," kind of thing. Especially in that sort of situation where there's another girl who's joined the group, it sort of seems like there's a bit of jealousy going on, like, "Oh, you can't be in the group, I'm the only girl who's one of the guys." What do you guys think of this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to click that link in the description to vote on story 1. Our next story is from Brian Evans 123. Am I the arsehole for cutting my daughter out of the will? My son Jake is gay. He came out when he was 18 and me and my wife couldn't have been more proud of him. He's now 31 and his older sister Lucy is 37. We've all been a happy family until about 6 months ago when Lucy converted to Catholicism. Neither me, my wife or my son are particularly religious. Since then, Lucy became more distant with Jake, and I started to notice Jake looking less jolly than his normal self. I decided to ask him about it because I could sense something was wrong. At first he denied something was up, so I kept asking him what was wrong until he finally broke down in tears one day. He told me that a few months back Lucy had called him to meet up. Apparently when they met up, she had tried to talk to him about his sexuality. According to my son, she literally begged him to repent and give up his homosexual lifestyle by breaking up with his boyfriend of 2 years. Since then she constantly rings him and texts him begging him to repent his sin. and has even messaged his boyfriend directly to try and save him from hell too. I was livid. Me and my wife immediately called Lucy and demanded a family meeting. We all sat around the table, me, my wife, Jake and Lucy, and we asked her about it. She literally said in front of us all, "Jake, I want you to go to heaven. You've got to stop this. It's not natural." My wife burst into tears and I started to literally shake in rage. After a lot of screaming and crying from everyone, my wife and I eventually said something along the lines of, "You can believe what you want, but if you dare say anything even remotely related to Jake's life choices ever again, you will not be part of this family." Her response was to look Jake in the eyes and say, "Can you not see what you're doing is wrong? It's a violation. It's sick." After throwing her out of the house and telling her we would never speak to her again, we got on the phone and decided to amend our will. She now gets absolutely nothing. She arrived at our house, begging to let her into our lives again, and saying not only are we letting Jake down, but we're not respecting her religious beliefs. Our first comment comes from Nut Michelle. "Not the arsehole. How ironic that she's angry at you aren't respecting her beliefs, yet she feels no responsibility respecting the beliefs of the rest of you." Which Decision says, "If you leave her out the will, leave her $100 so she can't contest it and say she was left out. Some states the minimum for a will cannot be tested is $1, some it's higher. I would advise finding out whatever that minimum is and putting her in the will so there's no legal trouble for your son." Not the arsehole. Sorry I hijacked the top comments. Barb Dildo says, oh man, how do people come up with these names when they're sitting there on that user create screen and they think, Barb Dildo, that's a great name. To be fair, it is. Barb Dildo says, "Leave her a book about Catholics, church, sex crimes, and a 12-month subscription to a gay lifestyle magazine." And I wouldn't expect a comment any less than that from someone named Barb Dildo. Excellent. I absolutely love that idea. What do you guys think about this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on the link in the description. Our next story is from Calling America 80. "Would I be the arsehole for telling my parents I don't wish to follow their religion anymore?" Looks like we're having a religion day. I grew up Catholic. My parents and I went to church every Sunday. They always told me that I should always do everything for the greater glory for God. I believed it until I was about 15. As I started to open my mind, I realised I didn't like Catholicism. I didn't like the idea that I should get to go to heaven and my best friend, who does not believe in God, will go to hell. It never sat right with me, and the more thought, the more I didn't want to be a Catholic anymore. I'm in my first year of college. I moved to the West Coast, so when I'm talking to my parents on the phone, they always ask me if I've been going to church. In the beginning, I would lie and say that I was. However, I would go to bed feeling incredibly ashamed because I was going to keep lying about my life, and I needed to be honest. One night, when they asked again, I told them that I hadn't gone. Immediately, they sternly told me that I needed to be going to church. I never went to church one single day I was there. Now I'm back home and in quarantine, I've been going to online church with them. Right now, I don't see church as a time to praise God, but rather as a time I can go and share an experience that my parents love. For example, I love seeing my mum with her hands clasped together with eyes closed because I know how much it means to her. I shouldn't hate them for believing. This is part of their lives, and I should honour that with as much of my heart as I can. They've done so much to put me where I am in life, and it would be rude to dismiss those efforts. The least I could do is respect their beliefs. That means that I still accompany them to church on Christmas and share those experiences with them because I know they'd want me to be there. I just can't bring myself to enter their room, sit them down and tell them. A part of me believes they're going to get incredibly angry. "You're immature, you don't know what you're doing." Blame themselves. "Where did we go wrong? We raised you to be better than this." Or do everything in their power to convert me back. "I'll pray for you. I had a dream God spoke to you." I don't have a desire to study the Bible. I want to break free and find out who I truly am and my place in the universe without being guilty of not going to church. I also understand that this decision could cause irreparable damage to our relationship, but I'm willing to assume the consequences of my actions. I've been mentally preparing myself for the worst, like my parents refusing to talk to me or casting me as the black sheep in the family. Like everyone else in my extended family, it breaks my heart and makes me feel like crying, but I understand that it's a very real thing that could happen. I think religion in life is a very personal choice, and it's up to you, you know. If they're expecting you to respect their choice in religion, they need to respect your choice in life and religion as well, even if you don't believe in anything. I'm not sure if you were a male or female, but I think you're a good son or daughter. The way you talk, the way you respect your parents' feelings, you sound like a great person, and I think you just need to tell them, and then they need to make their choice. That would be their choice. You need to make your choice and live your own life. What do you guys think about this story? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on the link in the description. Our next story is from Unexpected Baby. Yay. Am I the arsehole for keeping a baby even though the father doesn't want children and filing for child support? I, 29 female, have a condition which makes me more or less infertile, or so I was told. Roughly 2 months ago, I had a one night stand with a guy. I don't use birth control due to my condition, but I did insist on a condom. Lo and behold, I'm pregnant and my gynecologist confirmed it. Now, I'm in a good position financially. I have a stable job and enough savings to live a very comfortable life. I'm close to my parents and sister, so I've decided that I will keep the baby. I've always wanted to be a mum, and this might be my only chance. I contacted the father and told him. I said I'd be happy to co-parent should he be interested, but I understand if he isn't. I would be filing for child support regardless though. The guy absolutely lost it and said I need to abort the baby and that I lied to him. Apparently he asked me what my opinion on abortion is to prevent the situation. I remember him asking me, but he never specified his question, and I thought it was more general. I told him I'm pro-choice, which is true. He must have interpreted this as me saying I'd abort any possible pregnancies. Ever since, he's been harassing me to abort. He must have given my number to his parents because today I got a call from his mother imploring me to have an abortion. I've made up my mind and I won't have an abortion. My family is extremely supportive of my decision, but I'm not sure if I'm in the right anymore. Edit, since it keeps coming up, I did not tell him that I'm infertile, and it was me who insisted on the condom. He was quite happy to hit it raw, as he said. Wow, this is a tough one. HHHam42 said, I am really conflicted here. Not an arsehole for keeping the kid. I understand this could be your only chance, and I'm glad you have this opportunity, but it's incredibly unfair to be like, too bad, you have to pay, assuming he used the condom properly. He did everything he could not to have a child. He asked if you're pro-choice, which I take and always have, as asking if someone would be willing to have an abortion should the worst happen. He tried his best to have a carefree night of boning, and then you decide for him that his entire life will change. It's not fair to him. You want this child, you can afford the child, and you have support for this. Do it by yourself. You should keep this child because you want it. You demanding child support is an a-hole move. I'm not sure if that comment was before or after the hit it raw comment from the edit that was done at the last second there. The next comment from Irene Beasley. In this type of situation, a court will rule on child support. It's not an a-hole move. It's literally what a lawyer will tell anyone and everyone to do. Child support is for the child, conceived by both of them. It sucks, I get that. I don't want kids myself, but when you choose to have sex, this is a possible consequence. He's not an arsehole for mentioning abortion immediately after finding out, but he is for the continued harassment. It's his new reality, and as an adult, he has to deal with it. I'm hugely conflicted on this one. What do you guys? I'd love to know what you guys think on this one. Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on that link in the description for story 4. Our next story is from United Killer Girls. Am I the arsehole for being mad at my 27 female boyfriend 30 male for putting a price tag on my dog's life? Title might be confusing. English is not my first language. Also, I'm on mobile. I have a very old dog. She's 14 years old and I got her with my own money when I was 13. We grew up together. For various reasons she lives with my parents now, who got a new dog last year. The two dogs don't get along, and yesterday the new dog bit my dog and now she can't move her hind legs. My parents usually pay for all the dog stuff, but right now they're in a bit of a tricky financial situation as my dad is very sick and can't work. So obviously my parents have to go to the vet. My dog has no insurance and they have had to pay for everything out of their pocket. I don't have a lot of money, but I have some savings. It's not a lot, like 500 euros. I want to offer to pay for what I can and ask my boyfriend if I can offer his money too. We've been in a relationship for almost 5 years. Also, he earns a lot more money than I do. Think 4 times as much. In the past we offered our money a few times, but they always refused. I think this time they really need it though. So the conversation went like this. Hey, so new dog bit my dog and now she can't move and my parents have to go to the vet. I wanted to offer my savings, but it might not be enough, so I wanted to know if I can offer your money too. He said yes you can, but looked very hesitant. I don't want him to feel pressured, so I say, you can say no if you want to. I want to clarify that he really could have said no. I can always take out a loan, and I think this is what I'm going to do after this conversation, so keep in mind that there was really no pressure. He answered by asking, even if it's 5,000 euros, And I was like, what? And he said, would you even want me to pay if it's 5,000 euros, even though it's an old dog who has not been well for the last year? So here's where I maybe suck, because my reaction wasn't ideal. I asked him, so you just let the dog die if it's 5,000 euros? In a really pissed tone, and left the room and locked myself in the bathroom. Proceeded to clean said bathroom for 10 minutes and went into my bedroom. He wanted to talk, but only asked about the situation between new dog and my dog. I explained, but was still pissed. Then he exploded and said he said yes, and I said his reaction was very shitty. He said I'm always mad about stuff that's unreasonable and that I'm overreacting. I didn't yell, I didn't curse or anything. I simply said that I'm mad and not happy about this arbitrary 5,000 euros that he keeps throwing around. I then went on to explain what annoys me, and he already said he would pay, to which I said that it's not about that, and that I don't want his money anymore anyway, and I will figure this out on my own. Very mature, I know. This is an emotional subject for me, and I can't really see who's the arsehole. Am I the arsehole? Couple of the comments here. Handhook Cardor, you're the arsehole. You only have 500 bucks to offer and the dog has no insurance, and he asked a valid question because you didn't specify how much money he would need to put up. You shouldn't have blown up at him. Sure, he wasn't super tactful, but he was bringing up a valid concern. I know your dog is important to you, but he has the right to know how much it will cost and decide if he wants to pay thousands when you've got 500 to pay towards a dog that doesn't really know. I know this is harsh, but true. Fire Safety 101 replies, I'm going to say you're the arsehole. He was trying to gauge your expectations. By his questions, that's his limit, and by your reaction, you clearly expect him to pay if it's that much. It is totally fine to want to help, up to a certain financial point. You said he didn't need to help if he didn't want to, and your reaction totally shows you expect him to put forth his money for your dog. And finally, from Competitive Young 9, you're the arsehole. I love dogs, I grew up with dogs, I volunteered in dog shelters for years, I'm a huge dog person. But yeah, at a certain point in a dog's life, an expensive procedure isn't worth both the financial stress and the physical toll and stress is going to put on the dog to recover. You ask them to put an undisclosed amount of money down for a dog that doesn't belong to him. You know, we all get emotionally tied to our pets and things like that, and I kind of see the guy's situation. Like, I know it's really heartbreaking to say, but I wouldn't expect to spend like 5 to 10 grand on a dog that, you know, and put stress on the dog as well. There's got to come a time when the dog's suffering too much, but I don't know. This can go, I imagine this can go both ways, even though strongly at the minute I would say it's pointing to OP as the arsehole, but you know, people have different opinions and I respect those, so bring them on. Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to vote on the link in the description. Anyway guys, thank you for being here today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, there's another one on your screen as we speak. Don't forget to click it, watch it, maybe click that subscribe and like and all that other good stuff. You are truly appreciated. I can't thank you enough for the time out of your day. It really means the world to me, and I will see you in the next one. Much love guys.